Here's the question. How do you make the impossible possible? Simple. Remove the I am, the ego. Now, how do you step into that newfound possibility? With a series of small intentional steps. Never forget, the greatest among us started from humble beginnings. But to truly unlock your potential, realize you're here for something greater. If you're yearning for more than just a good life, let's take that small step together to reach greatness. Welcome to the Greatness from Small Beginnings podcast, where we're talking to those who have gone from mediocrity to motivated, overlooked to overachieving, forgettable to unforgettable. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, everybody. I am jazzed to be back. So, as is fairly typical for me, I am going to confess something. This is a little bit of a spitball. I read this thing the other day, and I'm like, I've got to put that on podcast because it's conceptually right. It's functionally right. There's some good points of things we could do to make our lives better, that we can become greater. Greatness from Small Beginnings is the name of this podcast, and we want to be continually getting better. And just because we're in a small spot now, in some area of our life, maybe all of our life, doesn't mean that we shouldn't be moving forward and doing well and becoming greater. As we become greater, I realize I just was on a call with someone coaching me, and they were saying, interesting fact, 99% of the DNA between person to person, doesn't matter the race, the color, the origin, where they are on the earth, 99% is all the same. Each person has 1% difference. The fingerprint, the eyeballs, there's only 1% difference between everybody. And what are we going to do with that 1% to make us unique and amazing and wonderful and find that greater path that God, the creator, the one that knitted us together in our mother's womb, what are we going to use? What are we going to do with that 1% that he gave us? Rather than just being status quo. I do not like status quo, but what I'm going to do. So the thing that I saw, the confession that I have is that there's a children's book called The Tuttle Times, a magazine that comes out monthly. And I think it's one of the greatest things. I've used it several other times. There's the cover of it this time. It's hard to see. I've used it several times on this podcast because I like the content. It takes big concepts often and it narrows them down through stories and whatever. But here's a big concept, and it's called A Kid's Guide to Popularity. And the thing I like about it, it's not just a kid's guide. It actually gives some practical things that you can do to get yourself off of stuck, well, especially when you're in a group. Okay, the two people in it, Ethan and Emily. And so here it is. Ethan had been counting down the days all year. Math camp was finally here. He loved everything about math. With just the right formula, he'd help Nana figure out how much fabric to buy for her theater costumes, helped Mr. Tuttle calculate the volume of dirt needed to fill the garden ditch, and even predicted how much gas their family trip to Wyoming would cost, down to the penny. 3 full days of math camp sounded like paradise to him. He imagined making a dozen new friends who also thought multiplication was magical and who used calculators for fun. I will admit that was never me. That's not the lesson that I'm getting at. As soon as he stepped off the bus, Ethan saw groups forming fast. Kids were laughing, sharing cool math tricks, comparing gadgets. And Ethan? ? He was standing by himself, invisible. Why didn't anyone even talk to me, he wondered. Is something wrong with me? ? After lunch, he finally worked up the courage to stand near a group of campers, gathered around a boy doing card tricks. Pick a card, any card, the boy said, winking. The kids gasped and giggled as he somehow guessed every single card right. Ethan laughed too, louder than usual, hoping someone would notice him, but all he did was make himself sound weird. The longer the day went on, the more awkward and alone he felt. He couldn't focus on the cool classes, enjoy the games, or get excited at the rocket building preview. His mind kept racing. Do I smell bad? Is my shirt ugly? Why is this so hard? You know how we get in our own head about everything. And then it hit him. He'd never been away from his sister, Emily. They were always together. Emily was the one who broke the ice and made friends, making friends easy. He slipped into a quiet corner with his tablet and sent a message. Hi, Em, Emily responded. Hey, math nerd. Having fun solving equations with your brainy buddies? Ethan says, not even close. I feel like a ghost. No one talks to me. I think I'm doing something wrong. Help. Emily waited, then Ethan explained everything. Then she asked, tell me something cool about one of the other campers. Ethan paused, then typed, the card trick guy was amazing. What's his name? She said. Ethan's thumbs froze. He didn't know. Emily sent a document with 2 empty columns. She said, on the left side, write down your wish you wish would happen with the other kids. Ethan, I wish they would notice me, talk to me, like me, and have fun with me. Then Emily commented back, just like I thought. You're thinking about this backwards. You're too focused on yourself and what you want from other people. That kind of thinking will make you feel fearful. But friendship isn't about that. You have to flip the script. Ethan stared at the screen, then realized that she was teaching the golden rule. He needed to stop thinking about what he wanted to get and think about what he could give. In the second column, he made a new list, this time with the flip. So the first list was notice me. He wrote notice them. The first list was talk to me. He wrote talk to them. The first list was like me, and he wrote like them. And the first list was have fun with me, and he wrote make fun happen for them. Emily responds on the other end. Boom. That's the secret. You just flipped the script. Ethan sat up straighter. She was right. He shot Emily a giant thumbs up emoji, shoved his tablet away, and raced back to the camp just in time for rocket building class. Ethan had been fearful and panicked all day, worrying about whether kids were going to like him or not. But now he had confidence, knowing that he should focus on others and make them feel liked instead. He just needed to be friendly. Hi, I'm Ethan, he said to a familiar boy. Your card tricks were awesome. How did you learn them? The boy lit up. It's just math. He laughed. My dad taught me. I'm Michael. Ethan kept asking questions, real questions about his life and interest, and listened like he actually cared, because he did care. Pretty soon, other campers joined the conversation. You should be on a rocket team, Michael said. We could use a guy like you. And just like that, everything changed. Over the next 2 days, Ethan became the kid everyone wanted to talk to. He remembered names, he asked questions, he laughed with people, and not to get attention. He didn't even notice that he wasn't lonely anymore, because the more he focused on making others feel important, the more the friendship he received. Turns out it was that simple. So I love these books because the concepts are for us. How often do you get in a room? How often do you have a client meeting and you just think, oh, this is not going to go well? How often do you meet with us or something, you know, the thing is going to be uncomfortable and you don't want to be honest? Well, focus on not what you get, but what you can give to that person in the conversation. And I love that. Let me read the 2 lists again. So the first list Ethan wrote was notice me, and he changed it to notice them. First list, I wanted him to talk to me. And he said, I want him to like me, like them. care about them. What's the statement about understanding? Let's see, people don't listen to what you say until they know how much you care, or something like that. But seek to understand, not be understood. And that's both of those fit in here. And the next thing, of course, like them and then make fun happen for them. Like fun is having an engaging conversation. And what does everybody like? They like to have their name spoken. And then what is another thing everybody likes is to talk about them, because you're an expert on yourself, at least up to the point that you are now. You like talking about yourself, your experiences, and maybe even brag a little bit. And if the person bragging too actually seems like they want to hear what you're saying, man, all the better. So how does this fit in leadership, let's say? Well, I think you can see it right away. If we serve others, if we listen to others and we understand others and we get a little deeper into their personal lives or the personal side of their work lives, if we're their leader, then they listen to us better. And if we make them have a little fun and enjoy life a little bit and give them really tangible, wonderful, like not um, critical advice, but just give them pointers, uh, then life gets better for them. And does it get better for you? Of course it does, because that's in essence the behavior of a servant leader. And the behaviors of a servant leader is to make people's lives better so your life gets better. And indeed it will. So the biblical principle is about Jesus coming and serving. And he did. He came to serve, but not to be served. And we should, of course, be like that. But it takes us thinking intentionally about how we're going to do it. So, what are we going to do the next time we meet people and we hope there's something that they get out of it? Flip the, see, what did she say? Flip the script. Notice them, talk to them, like them. In other words, be interested. Because you probably are. Some people, you wonder how they got on the subject they're on, but most people, there is really something to be interested about. And that is really fun to do. Find out new things about some of my people at work almost every day, every week anyway. And that's good. And then make fun happen for others. Tell funny things, funny stories, tell anecdotes from our own lives, maybe do a little bit of self-effacement sometimes that puts us in a position of being on their side, right? Equal with them. And that's what you can do as a leader, but even as a parent, that sometimes we can, I so often say to my grandkids, oh, yep, Papa's just a strange dude, and or so they can relate. And I'll say something funny and they'll look at me like, what are you talking about? I said, is that kind of weird? Yep, yep. Well, that's just me. That's what I am. And I'm real to them. And I like that part. So that's it in a nutshell. And I thought it was a great story. Math camp, of all things, from a children's book, can I discover about that? Can we really get a principle that we can use every day? I think this is going to be mostly adults, and I know that my grandkids are going to listen to this at some point. So for you all, whether you're older grandkids or younger grandkids, this matters. Notice them, talk to them, like them, and make fun happen for them. That's seeing others is more important than yourself. That's serving them and doing the right thing for the sake of others. It'll make your life more full. There's my encouragement. Now, let me turn to the thing that I always finish with. So, Zig Ziglar said about you and me, of course, but about you. You were designed for accomplishment. Can you accomplish these things? Yeah, I believe you can. Engineered for success. You succeed at these things? Yes. And endowed with the seeds of greatness. Are these things? Notice them, talk to them, like them, and make fun happen for them. Are those things that you can do for others that plant seeds of greatness, even in yourself, but certainly within your relationships? Yes, you were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. What a fun story. Now, the call to action. This is a choice you get to choose. Now go be great.